Let's rank all 7 Scream movies. The latest release struggles to overcome its troubled production, with the attempt at course correcting failing immensely. Steering away from the newly established characters in the previous 2 entries, Scream 7 is short on ideas, therefore opting to rely on what has worked well in the past. Fan service. The film doesn't have much more past that, and it is a desperate attempt which leaves everything else extremely lackluster. Scream 3 had a reputation for being the weakest in the franchise, yet I think that title is going to be given out somewhere else. The film was never bad, the quality was just below what had come before. The formula just feels very exhausted here in this entry, so the overall product just feels just like any other meta slasher film, rather than being a part of the franchise that started it all. Even past that, corners are cut narratively and through use of unrealistic technology that it was just hard to maintain investment. Scream 4 more or less repeats its same tricks which make the franchise so beloved, yet with a few tweaks to fit the time that had passed since the last entry. It is nice to see the cast reunite, however, there is just nothing new that they are doing, so it falls into forgettable territory. Kills are solid, yet the film's just recycling old plot lines. As slasher sequels go, Scream 2 is actually pretty solid, yet nowhere near its predecessor's quality. The story continues nicely into this film with an increased body count and some gory kills. There does seem to be a bit of an identity crisis at times, with the tone steering way too similarly to what came before, as well as just going too far into the meta humor. Yet it is a fun sequel, even if the killer reveal is quite disappointing. The new environment for Scream 6 helps maintain such a fresh feeling going into this entry. From that come unique scenarios which would have never happened in previous entries, allowing for a much gorier ghost face. Whilst controversial at the time, the absence of Neve Campbell actually serves as a benefit for these new characters, as they're allowed to do more independently without having to rely on Sidney to bail them out. However, their immense plot armor did start to sour some enjoyment, as it felt no harm could be done to them as the story progressed. The first entry without Wes Craven proves to be a solid one, with Scream 5 closely following what had come before, whilst also having a fresh take on everything. The incorporation of new likable characters with iconic old ones raises the stakes, as you do like all the characters on screen. It allows for the kills to be more effective and have bigger consequences. As the horror genre has changed over time, Scream 5 incorporates those changes into the meta storytelling, making it feel true to the franchise whilst also doing its own thing. The original remains the best through its revolutionary meta commentary on the slasher genre, whilst combining with a genuinely thrilling slasher story. The cast is strong and constantly leaves you unsure of who the killer is, so once that is revealed, it is extremely satisfying and effective. Scream treads the line of equally hilarious moments with terrifying ones, so it all just blends nicely to make for a truly unique experience.